First, why don't you explain it to our viewers why you felt you had to do that? You had to interrupt Joe Biden's speech and ask that question.
I don't know why he's telling all the Kurds to go back east to the Euphrates. The reason why I chose to spoke with him is because he was the one who actually made the ultimatum, and I don't understand the logic behind it. If we're fighting against ISIS or we're fighting against terror, and Turkey, until that point, was doing nothing about ISIS in regards to trying to take back land or anything like this. So I think it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and plus the fact that 3 Americans died trying to take Manbij, and he was demanding that this land that was paid for not just in Kurdish blood but American blood should be given back to ISIS or to some entity that was not even explained. And secondly, the problem is the people that are invading are not Free Syrian Army. They're just a collection of different. Some groups are less radical than others, but there's a lot of them, like Falaq al-Shams, which is basically a terrorist organization, and they're committing atrocities against Kurds and other ethnicities in the area. And I think someone needs to bring that to attention. And when I brought the question to attention, it was obvious to me, and I think anyone who knows anything about Syria, that he has not been briefed on the situation. He asked. He mentioned special forces, which are not even in the area. They're in Hasaka province. There are no special forces in Aleppo province, as he tried to reply.
Didn't the YPG, have the intention themselves to withdraw from Manbij after they liberated it?
I'm not sure. I've not heard this before. Right. Either way, there might be some kind of discrepancy between YPG and other forces of the SDF.
Right.
But whether they had an intention or not, I think is a secondary importance to who's filling their place and the people that.
Do you believe this, like the fact that somebody like Joe Biden, he's the Vice President of the United States, is calling upon the YPG to pull back from those areas that they have liberated? Do you believe this will have some sort of discouraging impact or negative impact on the YPG or on SDF in general in terms of liberating further territory? Do you think they will be, they'll have second thoughts about, liberating territories that are probably predominantly Arabs?
No, I don't. I think what it would do is it would only undermine what they're doing, but they've made a statement. They made a complete statement. They made a statement saying that they have no intention of doing so, and you can't. There's no way they could really back away from that. Two things that I think it does negatively to the Kurds is one thing is that it hurts Kurdish-U.S. relations, and the Kurds might just go to someone like Russia, and that's not in U.S. interest. Secondly, it might, if they don't have the ability to meet Kobani province with Afrin, or Kobani Canton with Afrin Canton, then they might just link up with Assad and bring supplies through Assad's controlled territory, and that would not be in U.S. interest as well. So there's absolutely no reason why they should prevent SDF from taking this territory. There's no good reason, unless there's an alternative. And there's no good alternative.
After Joe Biden said that, and of course the Pentagon also called upon the YPG to do that.
Yes.
Do you believe that your colleagues in the YPG felt betrayed by the United States? Did they have that kind of feeling?
Maybe not complete betrayal, but they felt a certain betrayal. In they either felt betrayed or they thought this was just Joe Biden's idea, and it wasn't the.
Did you hear anything from them? Did they tell you? Did they contact you? Did you talk to them?
Yes, a lot of them felt completely outraged and betrayed. More so at Joe Biden than Obama, because he was the one that said it. So, yeah.
Right, and Can you a little bit talk about what you did yourself in Rojava?
Well,
And when you went there, yeah.
I served around the Tel operation, and the back end of it, and I was there for a month or two in Tel Hamis. I also served west of Sarakanye, the early part of the Tel Abia defensive, and yes, and I was also for a small period of time I was in Derek, but most of the time I was in Tel Hamis and west of Sarakanye.
How long were you there in general, all of it, and when did you come back?
About a half a year.
Wow, 6 months.
Something around that, yes.
Okay. Do you have any intention of returning to help the YPG?
I don't know at this point. I'm not sure. I feel sometimes that I should go back. The thing is, it takes a long time to go back, so it's still. I feel like I should be over there. I feel a certain sense of guilt not being there right at this moment. Because there are a lot of things, there's a lot of different logistical things that you have to go through to get into Rojava. So at this moment, I am not really prepared to go back, but it's still something that's inside of me that I want to go.
Right. So with Turkey threatening the YPG and Rojava, do you worry that the whole thing you and your colleagues did, or the YPG, all the areas that they have liberated might be derailed? And
yes, I do. That's the biggest thing, is that so many people, I've had friends that have died, so many, and I feel like it's all for no reason, and the alternative is a bad reason, and that is just people that do not share the values of humanity and equality and pluralism. Like they're not. These are the alternative that Turkey is giving to this region is just horrible. And the United States, I don't think the only reason why Joe Biden got this far with allowing this to happen is that most of the American people really don't know what goes on in Syria. Most people probably think a curd is some type of cheese product they make in Wisconsin.
But what do you think about what happened afterwards? The Pentagon and the United States seem to have, kind of taken back what Joe Biden said a little bit, telling Turkey that they're not okay with Turkish bombing of the YPG, and they don't support that. And they've also told, this is what the Pentagon said. They said, we've told both the SDF and Turkey that our support to both of you is contingent upon fighting ISIS, not fighting each other.
Yes, I think what we witnessed was there's a division, and there's always been a division for a long time within the United States government between the State Department and interests of certain people in that sphere of influence, and people in the Defense Department, people in that sphere of influence. The Defense Department, as far as the security of the United States, the YPG is completely within the interest in their goals of, it aligns completely with the security of the United States. Now with foreign relations and with the State Department side, they think that having some type of friendship with Turkey is valuable, and I think this is what we saw. As soon as, I would say Joe Biden probably plays more into the State Department side of politics in the United States, which some of them supported groups like Free Syrian Army and things like this. So I think that's what we saw, is that as soon as there was a policy made, the Defense Department in that sphere of influence severely objected and brought the Obama administration back to sanity. I don't think this was. I don't think this was a conscious or a unified policy of the Obama administration. I think it was more of something that was Biden's idea, or maybe John Kerry's idea, and Obama just went along with it.
Rob, just one more question. I mean, you fought alongside the YPG, and you lived there for about 6 months. What do you make of some reports coming out of the Middle East, or some accusations against the YPG of abusing power or of abusing minorities, Arabs, or even Turkey accuses them of committing ethnic cleansing, things like that. Did you witness any of that when you were in Syria? How is YPG treating people? Just give us your honest observation and opinion. What you saw there?
I've never observed any type of ethnic cleansing. In fact, I would say YPG is like one of the most pluralistic organizations in the world. As far as like, they're a lot different than other types of Kurdish organizations, and there's a lot less nationalism. I don't have any problem with other Kurdish organizations, but there's a lot less nationalism in it. I think it's completely. I think if you're going to criticize criticize YPG, you're going to have to say, well, what's the alternative? Do they have? Look at their policies, and which side should the United States be supporting? I've never seen anything like this. Every canton of every local government within Rojava has an executive that has an Arab, a Christian, and a Kurd, and so even in their formula, there cannot be an imbalance of who's ruling the area.
Uh-huh. So you believe all of those like accusations basically are exaggerated, to say the least?
Yes, I mean, one or two might be true somewhere. I don't know. There might be some anecdotal situations, but they have no significance to what's going on.
So you yourself didn't observe human rights abuses and things like that?
No, I never did. I never observed anything like that.
Okay, thank you very much, Rob. Really appreciate your time.
Well, thank you.
Good luck.
It was a pleasure.